Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Punk Rock Radar. And in today's episode, we are listing out our top 10 best skate punk albums of the 2010s, skate punk melodic hardcore. But I'm joined here by owner of the channel, Mr. Punk Rock Radar himself, John, and me, of course, Elliot Ergoth from the Discord. And John, I'm pretty excited to do this one with you, man. There was like a lot of nostalgia going back and going through all these records. Like I was like super into listening to all these different, like the pop punk and the skate punk scene, like hand in hand, listening to these back and forth. So many like great memories from this. What was your like thought process kind of putting together your top 10 here at all? Was there anything, or just going by pure gut instincts on and things like that?
I told you, man. Like this is my style. This is my time period of skate. This I feel like pop punk golden era was the 2000s, and then the skate punk
Definitely.
golden era is like the 2010s. So I had a list of like 25, 30 albums, and I still, like, this morning both you and I are swapping stuff out. So this was
Yeah, we're
extremely
still talking
difficult.
about it.
Um
There, what first I thought it was going to be pretty easy, but then as we kept going through it, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many records I just kept forgetting about. And then also I had the whole time where I was like, is this a skate punk
yeah.
record? Is this melodic hardcore? What is what? So, we might have some things in here that you wouldn't consider in that genre, but just let us know down below in the comments. Try to be at least nice and friendly. Constructive criticism always welcome. Enlist your top 10 skate punk records down below. But John, you know what? This is your bread and butter right here. This is kind of what you built your channel off of. A lot of newer skate punk bands like this. Also, don't forget to go to punkrockradar.limitedrun.com, where you can get all sorts of merchandise, records, cassettes, and bands just like this. So what do we got? Making Friends, of course, would be in the 20. If it was in the 2010s, it would have made it. Great records. So don't forget to check that out. But John, what is your first record here? What is number 10 skate punk record of the 2010s?
All right, so I talk about these guys all the time. Friends of mine. So let's do Crang. Their album. This one's definitely not as refined as some of the later stuff, like Make Arcade Great Again. It listens to Krang once. It's 10 songs in 16 minutes, but I think this is a really fun album. You can put it on, and it's, like I said, it's over in the blink of an eye. But it's
Yeah.
got some of their like classic songs, like King of the Dance Floor, Indiana Jones Hates Nazis and Snakes. Yeah, it's a really fun record. This is the first time I heard of Krang, was this album when I got this. So a little bit of nostalgia attached to it. And this is when you and I were talking to right before. I was like, do I put it on? It's so short, but I love Krang, and I
Yeah.
decided to put it in here. So yeah, that's gonna be my number 10 is Sing Along by Krang from the Czech Republic.
No, oh, they're from the Czech Republic. I did not
Hmm.
actually know that. But yeah, I mean, this is a solid pick. Like I always said, Krang is like a skate punk melodic hardcore version of Newfound Glory for me. Just a lot of
Hmm.
really chorus heavy, really great pop hooks, really fast, tight guitar riffs. But I do agree that Make Arcade Great Again and Listens to Krang Runs from 2020 are an improvement over this, but it is still a solid foundation of like what Krang would become, definitely. But I do have one thing I want to. If Krang is watching this, dude, you got to fix the song titles on Spotify. Some of them are not capitalized, and it just bothers me. Like it bothers my OCD. Like I want to go in there and capitalize like dance floor on the song. What is it called? King of the Dance Floor.
Yeah.
Like dance floor needs to be capitalized. It's bothering me. So just when you get around to it, I don't know how Spotify works uploading stuff on there, but please fix the song titles. I would really appreciate it. but my number 10 here in my skate punk albums of the 2010s is going to be 2012's Local Resident Failures, A Breath of Stale Air. An absolutely excellent record. And for a second, I thought this wasn't going to be on it because I thought I might have a little bit of rose-colored glasses with this, and I kind of went back and listened to it. Man, it's so tight, it's so
Yeah.
fun, it's so good. It's so aggressively Australian with they're constantly. It's very obviously the comparison would be like Frenzal Rom in a lot of ways, where I feel like this is, you know, the kind of 2010s updated version of Frenzal Rom. And if people want to argue against that, I mean, their name is Local Resident Failure, so obviously they're taking some inspiration from the Frenzal Rom guys. But you know, I also wanted to say a little bit more of a politically charged album than Frenzal Rom normally is, but Frenzal Rom has a lot of political songs as well. But this definitely is a little bit more politically charged, a lot of songs about censorship and, you know, the Australian media apparatus and stuff like that, but also just like a lot of really fun songs. Like the first track, Still Kicking It, Still Kicking On, is so good.
The best, yeah.
The first song I heard was, what is it? Yeah, Where the Bloody Hell Are Ya? That's the first song I heard where I was like, this album absolutely rips. So just really fun, melodic skate punk from Australia. So it's a great record. John, you're a fan of this one?
Yeah, this would have been on my list for sure. I love this album. Still Kicking On is so good.
Oh, it's so good.
Is the race card is on this one? I think there's a couple really good songs. Maybe
no, it's super. I feel like it's no songs to skip on here. Like what's another great one? A Fuck White Pride's on here. Oh, In Sickness and in Health is like a great song as well. Yeah, Playing the Race Card. So. Solid record. Would have been in your top 10?
Yes, definitely.
Hell all right. Yeah. Well, what is in your number 9 slot, John?
So I don't know if this is in order, so I want to say that as a disclaimer, but I'm staying in the Czech Republic with Rabies' album Anarchids. I think this was the first one I heard from them too, and I've got this on a nice white vinyl. This is, I mean, if you like Crang, this is like probably the band that sounds the most like Crang. I'd say this album is probably like a little bit more fleshed out than the sing along album. But
sure, yeah.
Let's Go is a really good song. Cardboard Bed actually features the singer of Crang on there. Unity is a good one. Anarchids, the title track, is another good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is just like a really fast, fun skate punk album, very much like Crang. I think your Newfound Glory on skate punk is pretty fair a representation for both of the ones I picked, because they're both like really catchy, like you're saying, chorus heavy skate punk.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Anarchids as my second pick.
Yeah, this is an excellent one. This was definitely another very pop focused kind of skate punk record. But Modern Room is Burning. That's like my favorite song off this one. It's super solid. This is probably my favorite Rabies record. I have not listened to the new one. I know John just listened to it, High on Sugar, which the album art on it looks incredible.
Yeah.
But I've always loved Anarchids. Also, did not know they were from the Czech Republic. So, which is my last name is from that. So, which I'm not going to tell you what it is, but. So, but my number 9 slot here is going to be 2018's Thrash Out. Okay, I gotta say the title of this thing, Making the Puddles to the Ground. So they are a Japanese skate punk melodic punk band. I'm not sure if the title of the album is a translation issue, but even on Spotify there is kind of an issue with the translation where Spotify calls it Making the Paddles to the Ground, but it is not paddles, it is puddles. I confirmed. I was like, I know this is not the title. But this is a obviously Japan has like a lot of great skate punk music. Like there's tons of really cool bands. What was another one's called like Last Youth Casually, that it was kind of a newer one that's like super good. Put out like an EP last year, I think. But I feel like this is an excellent representation of kind of the Japanese skate punk scene that's going on right now. And also like if you really just kind of wanted to get that 90s skate punk sound, this hits it so perfect. If you're, tired of the influence that Strung Out and Propaganda has had on melodic hardcore and skate punk in the modern era, Thrash Out, Making the Puddles to the Ground is a total throwback record, and you're going to absolutely love it. It's what's some of the songs I picked out of this one? Hold on. where are we at here? And it Garbage Like You and Fat the Ligament Tear are two excellent tracks on here. So, but you listened to a little bit of this. You never heard of this, right, John?
I heard it for the first time today, which I did not expect. I'm wondering if that title is like maybe like a no effects that like bottles to the ground. Maybe it's like a pun, but
making the puddles to the, I feel like it is a translation error, at least a little bit. But because it doesn't make sense to me, but it could be a no effects reference.
yeah, no, it's really good. I added it to my playlist because I had never heard of this band before. So
oh yeah, also the album art in this thing is so sick. Like I love the lettering they did on this thing as well.
The lettering reminds me of No Use. The color.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But John, what is your number 8 slot here, man?
Number 8 slot is gonna go to Symphony of Distraction and their album Call It Off John. So Symphony of Distraction formed out of the band Second Shot, which I had found on Interpunk in the early 2000s. They have some really, really good skate punk albums that would probably be on my list too. But this one is, I think it's fully self-released, and then People of Punk Rock ended up putting it out on vinyl. I thought I have it, but I do not. But this is like a really, really strong, catchy album, like for fans of No Effects. The Last Thing I Remember, the opening track, is probably my favorite, but Forever Echoes is a really good one, and Out of Time, Out of Place is another one that I like. The singer is in another like solo project called Lonely Bunker that I think gets a lot of views on Instagram and stuff, where he does like covers with like this, I forget what the type of keyboard is called, but yeah, Symphony of Distraction rocks. This album is really fast, really catchy. If you're into Fat Wreck style skate punk, this is a must listen. Have you heard it before, Mr. Elliott?
I heard Horseshit, the 2022 record. I actually didn't even know they had other records, so I have never listened to this before until you picked it, and I listened to a couple songs. Yeah, it's a solid Fat Wreck throwback Epiphat sounding record. I have to compare it to Horseshit. It's been a while since I listened to it, but I know a lot of people put that Horseshit record as like probably one of the best records or modern skate punk records. Tons of people love that album, so. No, this is super solid. I enjoyed what I heard. The bass also sounded really great on this thing from the songs I heard. So solid pick there. My number 8 slot is going to be 2015's Not on Tour by the band Not on Tour, Bad Habits, the album. So we got a female singer on this one. You don't really hear too many skate punk bands with like a female singer, and I mean, you had like Tilt in the 90s, like a few scattered here and there, but I think these guys do it so well. And in kind of the same vein as how short the Crang record is, this album is also very, very short. Most of the songs are like, under 2 minutes, and it's really just kind of this punch in the face, super quick kind of skate punk sound. The vocals are great. It really hits a lot of the 90s sound that I really love in skate punk. So have you listened to this Not on Tour's Bad Habits?
I heard it like when it came out. Like, it's not what I've listened to too much, but yeah, I was listening to it back on our playlist, which I'll link down below. There's a playlist of Elliot and I picked out 3 songs from every album. That'll be down below. And I liked all 3 songs that you put on there. So it's one I'm going to have to revisit myself too.
You got to revisit. Somebody did it for Record of the Week, and I thought it was great. A lot of people thought it was like a 10 out of 10 record. I don't know if it's 10 out of 10, but I think there is just a charm to this thing being so, like, the 3 songs I picked are all like a minute, 15 seconds. Like, this is such almost no song goes over 2 minutes in this thing. So it really is just this fast kind of skate punk punch in the face. So I think it's a great record to add on to here. But John, what is your number 7 slot, man?
All right, I have to pick I have a couple of my favorite all-time bands on this list. So this is Pulley's No Change in the Weather that came out in 2016, I think. And this is a
Yes.
big time comeback album, I think, like coming off of a pretty long hiatus between records. It kicks off with No I in Team, which is probably my favorite modern Pulley song, modern being like After Matters. And but Farewell is another good one. The Other Side of Silence, Syndrome. You got the No Use cover. It's another really short album, only 10 songs, and one of them's a cover. So that's, one thing I hold against it. But I think for a band to be around this long and put out a record that's as strong as this is an achievement in its own. I like this much better than the Golden Life that came out a couple years ago. And yeah, this I'm seeing now. I just pulled it up. It's out on El Jefe's album, Cybertracks. I didn't know that either. But yeah, classic skate punk band, one of the pioneers of that 90s fat epitaph sound, and still going strong with No Change in the Weather.
Yeah, No Change in the Weather. Great. This was almost on my top 10. And then I decided to swap it out for something else and also just kind of give it to you because I think you're a bigger fan of this than I am. Not that I'm not a fan, but I know you talked up this album a lot of, so maybe like, top 2, top 3 Pulley records for you, I would say. Is that no? Yes? I can't remember. I remember you really liking this one.
I really like it. I think it was in the B. Like, I think Matters and Together Again, I would definitely put above it. Probably a Steam. Okay. Yeah, it's maybe like number 5 Pulley album. Okay,
number 5 Pulley album, the top 10 of the 2010s. But I mean, they're all very close in quality.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these Pulley records. I like the Golden Life a lot as well. So Pulley is still going strong. So it's a great choice. Almost was in my top 10. So, but my number 7 here is going to be 2012's No Trigger Tycoon, which obviously a lot of people know No Trigger from the album Canyoneer from 2006, I believe, and that's probably like most people's familiarity with them. But honestly, I think Tycoon is just as good as Canyoneer. Like, I think they're neck and neck, where there's so many just super solid. Like, if you were like just very like screamy, raspy vocals, and just like a lot of really like melodic octaves and very just like big buildups. Like No Trigger does it so well. Like, they're one of the best bands to do it, this sound. And Dried Piss on here is next on the song. Mountaineer has like it's rare to hear like a modern guitar riff that I just want to immediately pick up and learn on guitar. Mountaineer has one that's like so cool sounding and permanent. There's so many great tracks on here. It's just such an excellent record. What do you think of No Trigger's Tycoon, John?
I love it. I wish they weren't the most like erratic band in punk rock. They have 3 full-length albums, like that's it. You get like one every decade
from 2006 to now. Yeah, they're so good though. I feel like every record they put out is like very solid. So
from here, my favorite's always been Department of the Interior. It's such a good song. But yeah, this would probably be go ahead.
No, you think this would be in your top 10 as well?
Yes. I love this record. Oh, yeah. Okay. I love this record.
Do you like it more than Canyoneer, or like do you think they're like on the same level? Because everyone talks about Canyoneer. I feel like this is just as good, dude.
Man, I remember the first time I heard Canyoneer, it was like right when it came out. What's that song that starts like da-da-da-da? What's the big song of that? Dragging.
There's Neon National Park.
Yes, that one.
Is that one? Okay.
Yeah, Neon National Park. And I just remember the first time I heard that song, I was just so blown away, and I
totally.
I wore out that album, and this one I feel like it's right on par. I don't know if I like it better. It's right on par, but it's like there's not a lot of distance between them.
No, not at all. I'm sorry. I agree. But John, what are we at here? We're at number 6 slot. Your number 6 slot, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Australia. We only have 2 American bands so far, which I think is like it's gonna be like that. This is gonna be very foreign leading list, which is fine. I'm gonna go Nerdlinger and their album Happy Place from 2015, I think. And we had this is another record of the week. I think Graham picked this as record of the week, but this came out on P Records, Thousand Island Records, and Disconnect. records, and this is one I was like listening to before we decided to do this list. I was like spinning this like 3 times in a row a couple weeks back. I think my favorite songs, the Ballad of Rod Lightning, Underrated, Fat Gav, Sunny Days. I don't know how to. This reminds me kind of like Frenzel from Forever Malcolm Young, maybe a little bit, but it's a lot more melodic than that. Like it's
Definitely.
it's very much like a more melodic Frenzel Rom, I would say, like Nerdlinger, but it's kind of has that fat sound too.
Definitely, it definitely has the Epiphat sound. I've never heard of these guys. This is the first time I was listening to them when you picked it, and I just want to say, "Sunny Days" is such a good song, dude. That's like such a killer track. I was like, that's when I was like, okay, this is a super solid record. Like when I heard that, I was like, well, at least the song. Like I was like, this is a good fucking song. So it's a good pick. I have to give the full album a listen. I haven't really listened to it all yet. So
there's one that I think it's underrated that starts off, the song title's underrated, where it starts off like kind of acoustic-y and it kind of builds up. That might be my favorite song on the album. I don't usually like slower songs, but it's just like very beautiful.
I love
melody.
build-ups though.
Yeah, you'll like that one.
I love acoustic build-ups. I love when it starts acoustic and just goes blasting off into like what was it? The Less Than Jake anthem, "The Brightest Ball Burn Out," where it starts off just him. I love that song. Love stuff like that. So but my number 6 pick here is going to be 2014's Counterpunch Bruises, which very Pulley core. Very similar to Pulley in a lot of ways. Once you get a little bit more melodic, a little bit more complex with the bass. Pulley gets pretty complex with the bass too, but it's a very catchy, like pop punk, skate punk style record. A lot of just super catchy choruses, a lot of jump around energy. The songs, I know one of them is Guardrails, which is just that's the first song I heard off of this, and that's when I was like, it's so good. Guardrails is so good, as such a cool little bass intro. Young and Entitled is like straight up like very much like a Pulley song. So to me, this is kind of like in a lot of ways how Local Resident Failure is kind of like this 2010s evolution of Frenzel Rom. Counterpunch always felt to me like a little bit of a kind of 2010s evolution of Pulley in a lot of ways. But you like this album a lot as well, right?
I love this band. I love the most recent album, Rewire, and they're playing shows with Crang in the US in like 2 weeks, and they're only doing a Midwest tour, which is like I either have to go to Ohio, Tennessee, or Kentucky, but I feel like I'm gonna try and get there because I've never seen Crang and I've never seen Counterpunch, so I'm gonna try and make a point to get to one of those shows.
Yeah, I've never seen Counterpunch either. That would be, I don't think I would be able to make it to one of those shows, but
I'm gonna try.
So you like telling stories with the confident smile, but you walk with.
It's weird. It's like I live near such a big city, but it feels like a lot of times like I get passed over by like the really cool things. Like they're always just somewhere out. At least you're close to New York, man.
Yeah, but they're not coming in. They're not coming to New York. No New Jersey. No Connecticut. No Massachusetts. Yeah. It's like just Ohio or bust.
East Coast can fuck off.
Yeah.
All right, John. What's your number 5 pick here?
All right, so I was deciding, and you and I were talking about this right before, is this a skate punk album? I think it has enough skate punk where I'm going to include it, because this would be like not only skate punk or whatever. This is like one of my top albums of the 2010s period, regardless of genre. It's going to be Wilhelm Scream, Party Crasher. This is like also one of my favorite albums in my collection, because I have a signed one. I don't know what to say about this record. I tell people all the time this is my favorite Wilhelm Scream, and I feel like nobody really agrees with me that this is the best Wilhelm Scream. But the way that this starts with Boat Builders, and then The Last Laugh is probably my favorite song on here. The Devil Don't Know, Number One, Gutsick Companion. It's just the Iceman Left a Trail. Like, it's just so good. Wild Turkey. This is the best Wilhelm Scream album. I don't care what anybody says. I listen to this all the time. Like, at least once a month I am putting this record on, and it's been out for 12 years. I think this is 2013. I could be wrong, but this is this is
Yeah,
one
it's
of my
2013.
this is one of my favorite records ever made. So it's got to go on my list. See, every record I've got going from 5 down is like one of my favorite records ever. So nothing but hits from here on out.
I'll wait till the priest stands over me. I'll wait till it pours down in eulogies. I'll wait for the fires of brimstone. I'll wait till the end of the world.
No, I mean it's a Wilhelm scream record. It's super solid, super technical, really big choruses. I mean, the album feels like it's this massive undertaking, and it's done so effortlessly. But I mean, I disagree. Career Suicide has always been my pick for the best Wilhelm scream record. But I mean, Party Crasher, I wouldn't like roll my eyes if somebody said that was their favorite of Wilhelm scream. I mean, like it's
They're all
super
good. They're all good.
Yeah, they're all pretty solid records. So it's not like there's this big canyon gap of like quality between them. But I'm Career Suicide's always been my favorite. And Mute Print, I'd probably pick over this as well. But this is up there. This is like top 3, top 4 Wilhelm scream, and they're all really good. So let's see here. My number 5 pick here, which is a band I didn't know about until probably like I would say like 2 years ago. I think John ended up putting me onto them when I think you sent me a sticker of them when I bought some records from you, which is a 2019's Down Memory Lane Catch and Release. So I think there was a sticker in a box of records you gave me, and so I listened to the one with the coolest album cover, which is this one, Catch and Release. And dude, this record is so fucking good. I'm not always the biggest fan of when they're like very kind of these like very pop heavy clean production on a lot of things, but I think this one does it so well. Where that opening track, Our Soundtrack, I mean, once you hear that kind of just like sucks you into how catchy and well written and structured this album is. And there's so many good songs on this, but it's an absolute banger from front to back. You're a big fan of this one?
I love, dude. This is one of the first albums I posted when I started the Instagram account. I don't remember. Like, I feel like this was 2 EPs. One was Catch, one was Release. That's why I got confused with the year. But the song about this song, it always gets stuck in my head. By Leaps and Bounds, Miami. Those are my 3 favorites from here. But yeah, like I said, this is one of the first, because I started the account in early 2020. I think this was like still a pretty new release. And yeah, I love this record. The song about this song is like one of the catchiest songs like I ever heard. It gets stuck in my head constantly. Yeah, but great.
By Leaps and Bounds, the banger. Mm-hmm. There's so many ones where it's like some of these are like these really kind of pop punk catchy sounding skate punk songs, and some of these are like these really like build up tracks of like this melodic energy to it. And What was I gonna say? I had like one more thought that I'm losing now thinking about. Some of the pop punk elements on this as well makes me feel like this like a skate punk easy core. Like some of these riffs sound a little easy core, but a bit more like aggressive and quicker with it. But it's a good album. I love this one a lot.
I would
Super
say
catchy.
I would say put this in the like Crang Rabies core. I feel like it's very similar to that style.
It's definitely in the Crang. It's in the Crang Rabies core. Yeah, I think Crang and Rabies are a little bit more fun. These guys seem a little bit like they're building up a little bit more, but very similar. But John, what's your number 4 slot here? So,
all right, so I'm going to Belgium now with my next pick. I've got FOD's album. Dude, every time I talk about FOD, I'm like, my favorite's Ontario, my favorite's Tricks of the Trade, because they're like that close. But for this purpose, I'm going with Ontario. And I don't know how I found this band, but I've told this story. Like, this is also a pretty cool vinyl. So Punk Rock Radar isn't the first kind of thing that I started to talk about new music. I used to do something on Tumblr, and like, God, I don't know, maybe 10, at least 15, maybe 15 years ago. And one of the first bands I posted was FOD. I had something called Obscure Band Spotlight. And I talked about their EP that came out right before this. And I got a lot of feedback how good it was. It was like my first kind of foray into like introducing new music to people. But FOD is just like Green Day meets Fat Wreck, I guess is what if Green Day signed to Fat Wreck, this is
Ontario I say is stronger than Tricks of the Trade on the Green Day elements.
Yeah,
at least. So but yes, Green Day meets Fat Wreck 100%. Sorry, continue.
But I would say I don't know what song clip I'm gonna play yet because there's a lot of songs I love. I mean, Frenzel Records is like one of my favorite on here, obviously.
Yeah, what is the story behind that? Is it like a reference to Frenzel Rom? Like, what is
definitely
that?
So it's about him getting into Frenzel Rom. He bought a record with the Pet Food Factory, which is obviously Smoke with the Pet Food Factory.
That's a crazy to think that someone would write a song about that. That's pretty interesting. if John was a band, that's the song they would put out.
But Ontario, the title tracks are really good. Passing Terrell Fane is another good one. Carry On. It's just, I don't know what I'm probably gonna pick Frenzel record just because it's so relevant to this channel. But go listen to Ontario and then check out Tricks of the Trade also. And then they have another album, Harvest, that's very much like shifting more towards Bad Religion meets Green Day that I'd also highly recommend. So yeah, FOD Ontario is going to be my number, where are we, 4 album.
Now I do wish that there were much more. Friends on the record slamming on my door. Is that a reason to break away? It makes me...
Yes, number 4. I was expecting Tricks of the Trade. But I did not know it was such a back and forth battle. So I didn't know you were struggling with that. So you got to tell me about this stuff next time, man. My number 4 slot here, man, is going to be taken up by 2014's Lagwagon Hang. So one of my favorite bands of all time. We've talked about Lagwagon a whole bunch on the channel. John has talked about Lagwagon a whole bunch on the channel. We did the best and worst Lagwagon songs. So check out that video if you're a really big Lagwagon fan. And this is like, I would say another one similar to like Pulley, where this is like a comeback record for like a lot of people. Where it's like Lagwagon was able to come back in 2014 and just be like, yeah, we not only can still put out good music, we can put out what some people think is one of their best records. It wouldn't be my number 1 slot, but obviously it is a super solid record. A lot more metally riffs. It sounds really big. The drumming is aggressive. I mean, this is just such a, it's a Lagwagon classic that they were able to come out with in the 2010s. And so I feel like it has to be here. Like it has to represent the 2010 skate punk scene. So obviously we've talked about it a lot. John, you're a fan of this record as well.
Broken down machinery, someday soon they will not for me.
Yeah, and Lewis is on his couch right now watching, clapping, applauding because he loves this album too. But yeah, Cog in the Machine, Absolute Obsolete, I think that's what it's called.
That's the long one. That's the 6-minute one.
Yeah,
dude.
it's still.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure.
It's good though.
It takes a lot for me to overlook something like that. But yeah, it's really good.
Made of Broken Parts is excellent.
Yes.
The final track, In Your Wake, is so good. Like what a great closer. So yeah, I mean it's stacked. It's stacked. It's an excellent Lagwagon record.
Agree.
But John, what is your number 3 slot here gonna be?
All right, this is a band that we do not talk about this band very much. I don't know why. We've got to talk more about how good the Satanic Surfers are. And hot take alert, this is the best Satanic Surfers album. I don't care. Like I know people go crazy for the 90s stuff, but this album is like incredible. This is Back from Hell that came out in I think 2019. But just put this record on. This is like just a punch to the balls, like for like 25 minutes. It's so fast, so catchy. Like The Usurper, Catch My Breath, Going Nowhere Fast, the title track, Back from Hell. It's so freaking good. I'm dying to get this is the second press. If anyone has a first press that they're willing to part with, please let me know because I missed out. It was like a Canadian only press, I think. But yeah. Satanic Surfers, we got to talk more about them on this channel.
We should do the Swedish, the 90s Swedish skate punk band tier list at some point. Well, I do have that locked and loaded and ready to go. So we'll figure all that out. But yeah, I mean, also compare the album cover of this one to like I don't know if it's necessarily the first record, but Hero of Our Time, like,
Oh yeah.
like one of that absolutely terrible album cover with like this bad tattoo face of a demon on it.
It's
compared
iconic
to this,
though.
which is it's iconic. It's like iconic. It is, but this is such an awesome looking album cover as well. Like I absolutely love this Satanic Surfs album, and it is if you're just looking once again for like that straightforward just '90s skate punk without all of the melodic fluff. The Satanic Surfers 100% brings it with this record, and it's a great record. I mean, the first one I heard was Going Nowhere Fast. When this was coming out, and the kick-ass track as well.
It's their heaviest album too, I think, which is rare, you know, but I think they're getting better with age, just like Frenzel.
I mean, if your name is like the Satanic Surfers, you might as well just like, you know, put out a ripper. So
I know.
you can't like slow down and make like this is like our more like mellow record. Like it's
Mature.
Satanic Surfers, dude.
We're showing growth.
Yeah. The Christian rollerbladers.
Oh my God.
My number 3 slot here, man, is going to be filled up with 2011's Poor Habit, Got Your Back, and
Yes.
this might be controversial for some people. Not too controversial. There's only 2 albums. This is their best record, though. This is absolutely their best record. I actually think this is better than Suicide by a good bit. Listening back to this, because I totally forgot about this when we were doing it. Like I made my list, and I was like, oh yeah, Poor Habits Got Your Backs on there, and I gave it another listen to, and I was like, dude, this thing's so good. This thing is so heavy. It's so big. It's so fast. It's so technical. This is like, you know, I remember this band was talked about so much when they came out. It's really a shame they weren't able to keep going, because I feel like they had such a fanatical kind of like cult following once they came out. Like people were like, you know, skate punk's back when Fat put this out. So this one's so good. I mean, Dead Soldiers Bay is a banger. Heads of State is such a catchy chorus. Tomahawk's an absolute ripper as well. But John, what do you think of Poor Habits Got Your Back? Do you agree? Do you agree this is their best record, dude?
It's like really, it's like the same thing with No Trigger. Like I feel like it's really close. Like I don't think it's a hot take either way. But yeah, it's the vocals remind me a lot of the Offspring, like early Offspring. But I think.
Oh yeah, actually, I never thought about that. You're totally right. That actually is kind of blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
I never thought that. It's very Offspringy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but yeah, I love this record too. I feel like Suicide I've definitely listened to more, but I was listening to this again when I saw it on your list. It may be better. Like I'd have to sit down with both of them and decide, but
I swear to you, you're gonna lean on this one. This is so much your alley. Like it's an upgrade in my opinion. But I mean, obviously, Suicide's like a classic. It's tons of great songs, but this one I feel like is definitely like right. Like this is John certified classic right here. So definitely give them a back-to-back listen.
I'm gonna be listening to our playlist all day. I think after we wrap this up, my wife is my wife's at a wedding, so I got all day to just put on some tunes and chill out. So
this is such a good list already. Like that's what I say. Like I was excited listening to this because I haven't listened to a lot of these bands in a good while. A lot of these records I've been kind of like had to listen to. So this is super fun to do. But John, what's your number 2 slot here, man?
All right. Another hot take incoming. We know about Suburban Teenage Wasteland Blues. We know about Twisted by Design. But if you want the best strung out record, it is 2015's Transmission Alpha Delta. This album just like kicks so much ass, and I can't find my copy. I have 2 copies of it. I posted them in the Discord. I was looking for it. I can't find it. I think I framed it and didn't hang it up, and then I lost the frame. So
okay.
But anyway, let me pull up the track. But I know like right off the bat, Animal and the Machine is like one of the
of course
one of the best strung out songs. Rebellion of the Snakes. Where's that track list? Transmission. Hold on. And Nowheresville. Okay, I got it pulled up now. Spanish Days is another good one. Rats in the Walls. Like I love this record. This is a top 10 all-time record for me. My number 1 and number 2 are top 10 all-time punk rock records. And this one, man, I wish they were still playing stuff like this. This is just like they dropped this one and then the rest of the stuff is okay, but it's like nowhere near as good as this. I feel like it's this, Twisted, and Suburban, and then like everything else by Strung Out. But this is my favorite. Like the guitars on this, the production on this is just like untouchable.
So good.
Untouchable.
The production's insane. I mean, especially if we're comparing it to the last record they released. Like it's insane, like how you're able to go from this to that production. Like you had it down. Like you had it down. Like this, the production on this is perfect. The guitar sounds so good on this thing for what Strung Out's trying to do. What Strung Out's trying to do, and they really perfected like a style here on this one. Like as much as they perfected a style on Twisted by Design, they perfected a style on this. Now, I prefer Twisted by Design personally as one of my favorite records, but this 100% it's got to be talked about if we're talking about the 2010s. I mean, this was like I would say like it's not like a comeback record, but for me it was, because I just wasn't a big fan of the previous two records. Like they weren't bad. I just kind of felt like I kind of zoned out towards the end of some of those Strung Out records. Where this one, I feel like it really catches your attention the whole time. So.
Yeah.
Great selection here. My number 2 pick. You got to tell me where these guys are from, because I don't think they're from America, but it's going to be 2017's Darko's Bonsai Mammoth. And dude, what a insane record this is. Like this is just one of my favorite records of the 2010s, and absolute ripper of just like melodic, hardcore, screaming vocals. Just I feel like there's so much going on. Like these songs are so complete and so well constructed that, you know, they feel so massive and big, and some of the songs aren't even that long. But I absolutely love Darko. I'm excited if they release anything this year. I don't know if they are. I know they had an EP last year that was pretty good. But Just a Short Line is good. In the Company of Wolves, Dead Hordes. There's so many really just like big sounding songs with this. It's not a long album either. 11 songs, 26 minutes, but it feels so complete. It feels so fleshed out. It feels like such a like perfectly put together record. John, what do you think of Darko's Bonsai Mammoth?
Well, you're in luck, Elliot, because they have a new song coming out on Memorial Day, I think, or Tuesday. Yeah, there's a new song and there's a new EP that comes out in July. And if you're watching this at home and you listen to this kick-ass Darko record, who is from England, I have copies of the last EP in the shop also. But yeah, this I agree with everything you said, dude. This band, I feel like the last album, which I think Grayscale. It's called Grayscale. That's the one I have in the shop. I love that one. I think it's an improvement over this one, but this one is badass, just balls to the wall, heavy as hell, and I definitely recommend. I love the album art too. The aesthetic of it is very cool.
Their album art is so is that the Sea of Trees EP looks so sick too.
Yeah.
It makes me think of for some reason kind of like that old Ninja Turtles art style in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah. Like the early comic books.
Yeah, the early comic book, the black and white ones. And this is such a if you like No Trigger, to me, this is honestly, I'll say I think the Darko is a better version of No Trigger, but they're very close in quality. It's really, you could go either way, I guess, but I'd pick Darko over this, and Darko's really impressed me as one of my favorite like newer-ish bands. So
There's a murmur on the breeze. We all perceive it yet. Another one.
Oh yeah.
But John, number one record. Guys, just pause the video. Guess what John's number one is down in the chat below. If you're familiar with the channel, try to guess John's number one record. John will, he'll heart your comment, maybe even pin it. So, but go ahead, unpause. John, what's your number one pick here?
All right, it's right there. And I have so many copies of this album. This is my number. So it goes Dookie, Enema, and then Smoko Ram, Smoko at the Pet Food Factory.
Smoko Ram.
Did I call it Smoko Ram? Oh my god. Yeah.
You called him Smoko Ram.
Smoko Ram. There you go. No, Frenzel Ram, Smoko at the Pet Food Factory, the aforementioned from the FOD song. This is This is the best skate punk album ever written, in my opinion. And number 2 very well could be High Vis High T, because that would be, I like that better than every other album on my list too. But yeah, I'm just looking at this Bird Attack classic, masterfully written, very lyrically deep. We've got Mummy Doesn't Know You're a Nazi, 5,000 Cigarettes,
Great.
Cockroach Light Switch.
Cockroach Light Switch. There we go.
Knuckleheads.
My favorite song.
Yeah, Back to the Suburbs. Edward Sausage Fangs is my favorite, but I won't play that clip because it's probably the least skate punk on here. Dead Celebrity, Metronome. It's amazing. This is like the best. This is the best album released since in the 2000s period. From 2000 on, this is the best album released. Frenzel Rom.
It's just such a John's just making his number one pick more and more contentious as he talks about it, as he glazes Smoko at the Pet Food Factory. Great Frenzel Rom record, super fun. I absolutely love it. John has talked about this to death, but it's a super fun record. Like, I love the production on it. It's definitely one of the best Frenzel records. I'm a big personal fan of Sans Souci being my favorite, just because I have a lot of nostalgia for it, and I think that's the funniest Frenzel Rom record as well. But this is probably number 2 if I'm really thinking about it. It's really fucking good. So Smoko's the best of the trilogy of threes from the 2010s as well, pretty easily.
Yeah.
Solid pick, excellent record. We've heard enough about
the modern Beatles.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, the modern Beatles.
Though I think this is the at the Abbey Road of our generations. Edward Sausage Fang is the Can't Stop Believing of the 2010s.
But when my baby smiles at me, I go to rehab. When my baby.
My number one slot here, my number one skate punk record of the 2010 is going to be 2016's Belvedere's Revenge of the Fifth. And like, probably my favorite Belvedere record. It's very close with that. And what is it? Eats Tape Forward. I forget the name of that fucking one. I always
Fast Forward Eats the Tape.
Yeah, Fast Forward Eats the Tape. Yeah. But this one, sometimes I think I was talking about this in the Discord, but sometimes technicality can be overbearing, where it's like these bands, they're incredibly technical. They're putting these songs together really, really well. They're great musicians, but they just lack a little bit of taste in how to structure a song and have a good catchy chorus. Belvedere is technicality done correctly, where it is a feature, not a detriment. And every song sounds so tight. It sounds so fleshed out. Every chorus is catchy and big. The bass, the guitar, the drums, everything shines through. And I think this is kind of just a perfect encapsulation of the 2010 sound and of kind of melodic hardcore and skate punk. And obviously the first song I heard off this thing was, what was it called? Oh my gosh, I've lost track of where we're at. Where is my right here we go. Hairline. Which is Hairline. Hairline is the song.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say Guardrails again, because I had Hairline and Guardrails on the same mix CD back in the day. Years is such a catchy track as well. Carpe Per Diem. It's just a Deliconstressin. It's hard to say some of these names right now.
That's my favorite.
Red Pawn's Race. It's an excellent record. The Architect, it's so fleshed out. It's so well done. It's like up there with the Wilhelm Scream and Strung Out, if you're looking for this like really technical, fast skate punk sound. But John, what do you think of the Revenge of the Fifth?
See, we talked about it before. This is I prefer the newest one, but I really like it. Delicastressin is my favorite song on here. I'm a big fan. I think we got 4 pun songs. We got Delicastressin, Revenge of the Fifth, Carpe Per Diem, and Generation Debt. I think are all puns. So
yeah, I was struggling to say all these song names, because I was like Carpe. Nope, it's a pun. It's a pun name. So yeah, I was like struggling through talking about those songs, man. But yeah, it's excellent. I love this one. You're a bigger fan of the new one.
Yes.
I'm not. Like, I think the production's a little too clean and pop heavy on that one. But obviously, like some of the guitar riffs on that new one are excellent, like Elephant March and stuff like that. But this one I think hits right there, perfect in the center for my taste personally. So excellent record, and we did it. We killed it. This is the official list of the top 10 best skate punk albums of all time. It's objective. It is well thought out. I would say put your list down below, but there's really no point because the list you should be putting down is already up on the screen. So unless you're just copy and pasting our list, don't even bother commenting. So, but definitely subscribe and like the video. But definitely put your list down below. Tell us what we missed. Tell us what we're wrong about. Tell us which one of these bands is not a skate punk band. Please do. And don't forget to go to punkrockraider.limitedrun.com for merch. Already plugged it. Wanted to plug again. Don't forget to join the Discord down below. John's got Jet 8 there. Great ska core record. And Weekend Inferno, which is the Weekend Cigarettes, and I forget the other band, Split.
Here we go. This is a relevant one.
There you go. There's Fast Loud if you're looking for some newer skate punk music. So, but thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.